Hello, everyone. Yes. You are welcome to today's live session. So, guys, I have this good news that I want to quickly share with you. Good things have begun to happen. As in, the tribunal, and not the tribunal, the appeal court has ruled in favor of the Labour Party in Delta State. I tell you, this is a very amazing, very wonderful news for the Labour Party, the obedient, Peter Obi, as in there've been celebration everywhere. And people keep saying, oh my God, as it has begun, let it just continue that way. As in, let it be that when the tribunal is going to rule, we are going to hear this kind of news that a court in Nigeria could not look by the side. They delivered judgment, upholding justice for the Nigerian people. So, guys, I just wanted to quickly take a look at this clip. Peter Obi secures first victory at the appeal court. My people, it is celebration time happening live in Delta State.
Globally.
Obedience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The judiciary is the hope, is the last hope of the common man.
All eyes on the judiciary.
The Court of Appeal today has proven that that technicalities will not be allowed in these matters. Justice must be done and must be seen to have been done. So let us continue to hope and trust that the judiciary will do the right thing in the presidential election petition.
Yes, we want to see it happen at the election tribunal. We want to see them dispense justice. So, guys, before we continue with this clip, a Labour Party member.
Thank you very much. Thank you. How do you feel hearing the verdict of the Labour Party Delta State gubernatorial candidate?
Well, I want to say this is the greatest day of my life. My name is Dr. Peter Michael Piper. Now, you see, every time the politicians do this thing they have always done, these transactional politicians, these enemies of the people that consistently derail our country from the trajectory we're supposed to go to. And every time they do this, what do they simply say? If you don't like it, go to court. If you don't like it, go to court. As if the court is an extension of their own criminal network. Today, we're beginning to see the judiciary standing up to its true purpose as the only hope for the common man. Delta State, where we all know that our victory was stolen, has been restored today by this judgment. We're beginning to have a invigorated confidence in the judiciary. Some time ago, we keep saying, all eyes on the judiciary, all eyes on the judiciary. Today, the judiciary have been able to prove that indeed they can be relied upon, they can be counted upon. This is one of the greatest days for Delta State. Delta State has been ruled for the past 24 years by a set of cabal. And this particular set of people, they have Delta State strangulated. They have Delta State on a stranglehold. Of all the states in the Federation, Delta State has remained one party for so long. And this is what these people have been doing consistently. Now today, the judiciary have been able to prove that truly there is hope for justice. And I hail the judiciary. I can't express my joy enough. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Long live all Deltans, and long live the judiciary.
So, by this judgment now, do you now have confidence that the presidential election would see the same fate?
Well, this is just a litmus test of what the judiciary is capable of doing. And if the judiciary can do this for Delta State, we believe that the judiciary can do the right thing for the entire Nigerians. Look at what's going on across West Africa. Democracy in the continent of Africa, in West Africa, in Central Africa, is all being destroyed. And what is happening is because we all know that there is a set of politicians who always plan a civilian coup. And every time they do this, they want to say, well, this is democracy. We need to say that enough is enough. Just yesterday, Gabon lost their fake democracy, and we hope that a true democracy will come out. We see what's going on in Niger. We see it everywhere around West Africa. Now, Nigeria is too big to be subjected to that. This is not a banana republic. This is one of the greatest countries in the world, the most populated place for Africans, for all black Africans. And we say injustice will not prevail in this country. So we hope that this is going to be the beginning of right judgment, and we look forward to this when it comes to the presidential elections petitions tribunal. That's what we're looking forward to.
Thank you, Mr. Kempela.
Yes, oh my brother.
You basically received the judgment at the Federal Court of Appeal, and from the smiles on your face, one could, want to guess how the outcome is.
Yeah.
So, can you tell the public, the outcome and how and why you came to the Court of Appeal for your case in Delta State?
Well, let me start with why I came. We have filed a petition against the process and results of the governorship election in Delta State, and following due process, because we had 7 respondents. So following due process, we had filed. There are certain things that need to be done before the case actually starts. You need to file a form TF007 to apply for pretrial hearing, and then a form 2 along with the form TF008. Now, after about 4 of the respondents were initially not available to be served, and so we had to apply for substituted service to be able to serve them. Now, mindful of time, after we had served about 3 of the respondents, mindful of time, after we had managed to serve all of them through substituted service, our lawyers went ahead and filed the form TF007 and TF008, applying for pretrial hearing to start. Now, pretrial hearings started, and everybody, they responded to the pleadings, they responded to all the issues, only for them to come on the day that pretrial hearing was actually, because he had been adjourned for 1 or 2 days, to complete the processes, only for the lawyers to one of the respondents to stand up and say we had abandoned our petition because we filed the application for trial hearing before it was due to be filed, and as such our petition had been abandoned. How a petition can be abandoned when everybody is responding to the issues and we're all in court, I did not understand. And so when judgment was given against all logic, judgment was given against us at the lower, at the tribunal, we determined that we will go on appeal. It's been a tough process. And we went on appeal. The hearing was had about 2 weeks ago, and today the Court of Appeal upheld our appeal, that our petition was not abandoned, and that the provision for abandonment is to punish erring people who abandon their petitions, not to punish diligent people who file before time. All right, so we basically are happy with the decision. We are now going back. That petition, where did they fear since?
So where does that leave you now?
Congratulations, Your Excellency.
So we're going to the tribunal to start our petition that they've been afraid to hear, and we hope that within the next 6 weeks, before the 180 days are completed, we will complete the process.
So you're going back to the tribunal in Delta State?
Good question. Good question.
No, because the audience need to understand, is it the same
now, it's not likely to be the same tribunal, because it is obvious that once this kind of thing has happened, that tribunal will be deemed to have been biased. So what I'm sure would happen is that they would set up a new tribunal, a new panel that we will go and meet before. And hopefully that panel will not be in Asaba, it will be in Abuja.
Thank you very much. And what's your message to the
So,
obedient
guys,
sect?
we can't wait to see. Yes, so guys, I stopped it at that point. Honestly, this is a very big news for the Obedient family and for Peter Obi together with the Labour Party. This case was abandoned. We all know the kind of votes that Mr. Peter Obi got in Delta State, but when it got to the governorship election, the powers that be couldn't, allow the election to be conducted well. And when they got to the point of filing their case, their petition was abandoned, as in they kept it by the corner as if they don't have any right to be heard. But you can see this victory because it is glaring that the Labour Party won this election, but they don't want the case to be heard. Honestly, we have just some few number of days for the time limit to expire. So no doubt they are going to rush this and give us victory. Mr. Peter Obi is looking forward to gaining Delta State. Don't forget that Enugu is a win-win for Mr. Peter Obi, for the Labour Party. Honestly, we are also looking forward to regaining other states. But let me allow you listen to what Aisha Yusufu got to say.
And the whole world has been aghast, and there has been a lot of people who have come out to condemn the coup and call for the military junta to leave office. But then what happens when political coup take place? When the will of the people is subverted, when people go to the polls and vote, and their vote is not allowed to count, when the processes, the system of election are rigged, the world must get to a place where the same way we look at military coup should be the same way we look at political coup. They're the same. They are subverting the will of the people. People are being imposed, leaders are being imposed who are not chosen by the country. And as long as political coup are allowed to take place and people who do that continue to get away with it, we only make it easy for military coup to continue to take place and for people to not be interested in democracy and not want to even participate in the democratic processes. Because what is the essence of going through so much? Billions of dollars wasted, resources of the country that they barely have, lives wasted, because most cases people are killed, people are injured, properties are wasted, and at the end of the day, someone subvert the process and they impose themselves on the people. If we continue to allow that to happen, then democracy will continue to lose its appeal. We must get to a place where we say no to political coup, where the processes in which people get into office through that democratic process, we must be able to check and see whether they actually are free, fair, credible election. The mandate of the people is very important, because if we continuously do not allow people to freely choose the people they want, and also for what they have chosen to be what ends up being the result that is given out, then more and more people would not be interested in politics, democracy itself, and more people would want military to take over. The greatest threat to democracy today, it's rigging. It's people who subvert the will of the people and get themselves into office. And most times, people want stability. Countries want stability to happen. How do you get stability when the will of the people is truncated, when there is injustice? You can't have stability. And over time, our regions have become more and more unstable, because at the end of the day, those who find themselves in office, those who rig their way into office, we're not the ones who were chosen by the people. We must begin to take political coup as seriously as we take military coup. Otherwise, military coup will be more and more attractive to the people. Because after all, even within the democracy, it is not what they choose that is allowed to get into office. Thank you.
Yes. So, guys, you've heard it for yourself. Honestly, people only talk about military coup. They even forget that this political coup is even more dangerous. As in, it's more dangerous because they tend to like suppress the people's will. You are not allowed to express yourself. You are not allowed to make a choice when it comes to, choosing who governs you. That is what we are seeing in Nigeria. Nigeria might be celebrating, oh, we've not experienced coup for a long time, but we've been experiencing this political coup, even if we've not experienced that of military coup since after Abacha. Political coup has been happening in Nigeria, as in each time we have all these presidential elections and the rest of them. And that is what the Labour Party came in this time to fix. Having Mr. Peter Obi as its presidential candidate, that is just what Mr. Peter Obi, he kept telling Nigerians that he wants to destroy this, this structure of criminality. The thing is too much, and it's eating deep into Nigeria. It's eating us up in different aspects. Look at our economy. Look at even the current government. When you look at what they've been doing, you get to know that it appears they didn't have any plan. As in, they didn't have any plan. They don't even know how to like navigate themselves at the moment. Things are really getting worse. Nothing tends to improve when you look at the security state in Nigeria, look at the economy, look at how the lives of people, how people are living, the standard of life and other things. Instead of appreciating, all these things keep depreciating. And that is why we really have to keep calling on the judiciary. Thank God for what has happened in Delta State. We are looking up to, more good news like this, to come up, because we can't continue this way. I'm happy for the coup that happened in Gabon in one way, because it will send strong signal to these African leaders who just want to get into power at all costs to the detriment of their people. They don't care. Don't forget that the INEC chairman of Gabon has been arrested. Some people say he's still on the run, but I heard he has been arrested. The Senate president too in Gabon has been arrested. They are arresting those politicians that are responsible for policies that is not moving the country forward. I was shocked to hear that Gabon makes more money from oil than Nigeria. My people, can you imagine? They make more money from oil than Nigeria does. But go and see the level of poverty. Go and see their environment. Nothing is happening. And I keep wondering, what has happened to our leaders? What has happened? And they still want to stay there. They don't want to leave. And honestly, this is a very strong wake-up call for the judiciary in Nigeria. They should shine out their eyes to uphold justice, because Africans, the citizens in Africa, they are not taking things lightly again. They want to be emancipated. So to close this up, let's take a brief look into what Dati Ahmed said after the election.
To our own view of what crisis is facing Nigeria now. The certificate of return issued to Alhaji Tinubu is a dud certificate. It is one certificate that breaches the provisions of Section 134. Therefore, the requirements to be declared as president-elect have not been met by Tinubu Shetima ticket. The declaration, therefore, as it stands now, as far as the people of Nigeria who choose to adopt the literal, clear, interpreted meaning of Section 134 is concerned, there is really no president-elect. Section 134 stipulates who to be declared an issued certificate of return. It is only that candidate that has scored the highest number of votes and at least 25% in each in at least 2/3 of the states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. Right. Remember, and now it is very clear, Tinubu does not have 25% in the FCT. We denied him. We got 61%. Atiku does not have 25% in the FCT. We denied both of them. By the clear, unambiguous provision of the Nigerian Constitution, which must not be breached,
Tinubu has not satisfied the requirement to be declared president-elect. Accordingly, there is no president-elect for Nigeria now. I repeat, accordingly, there is no president-elect for Nigeria at the moment because the declared one violates the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I know what I'm saying. The Constitution is there in your presence, it's available. Everybody is reading it as I speak. I'm not therefore behaving illegally or unconstitutionally. To the contrary, I am supporting constitutionality. It is in fact better for the powers that be to go and create additional 6% out of thin air and rig it back to Tinubu and therefore swear him in on 25% than to go ahead and take the risk of swearing in a so-called president-elect that has not met the constitutional requirement. This document you read is not a puzzle. It is in English. It is law. The law is not a game for politicians to play. This document is not available for Yakubu to interpret that day. It is there for him to follow. The English is very clear. These are fundamental provisions of the Constitution. They come already interpreted. You cannot take a gun, shoot somebody, and then ask the family to go and get interpretation that you only fired your weapon and then it killed him. No. This Constitution is more than abundantly clear. It says and. Show, you know the meaning of and. We know the meaning of and. That constitutional requirement has not been met. That certificate of return is null and void and cannot be sworn in as president. And let me tell you, the way they are going, disregarding the calls of the people, violating the Constitution, let them even go ahead, even if they swear in Tinubu Shetima on 29th of May. They are swearing in an unconstitutional government. Nothing will change it. I am not a careless reckless.
Yes, so guy, I decided to stop it at that point. Honestly, this was what Dati Ahmed said before the inauguration. And you can see that this is even what caused the coup in Gabon. I mean, the INEC chairman rigged the whole thing. So even the military themselves, as in the military as a body itself, could not condone what they saw. The irregularities, they shut down the internet, they did not allow international observers, they just did anything anyhow and declared this man that we know that he's not physically fit as president. So the military could not take that mess. They just resolved, to go and take over power. That is exactly what led to this coup we are seeing in Gabon. And this is why I keep saying that it's a wake-up call for our judiciary, even for the INEC chairman. Somebody posted today on Twitter and was saying that the INEC chairman of Gabon has been arrested, while the INEC chairman in Nigeria is about to conduct more elections. You can imagine somebody that did, let me say he did similar thing to what that of Gabon did, but he's still moving around because the current government has been sworn in, even though the court has not finally ruled. So they've taken over power, they can influence, it to any level, to any length. Yes, this is what is happening in Africa. And that is what we must keep lending our voices in calling on our politicians that they should do well. And also INEC as a body, that whenever it's being given an opportunity to conduct this kind of elections, they should know that Nigerians have opened their eyes and we can't just take anything anyhow from them. So guys, at this moment, I want to conclude this live. I just wanted to give you guys this quick update and to say, for you to just see what is happening, what happened yesterday in Delta State. So thank you very much for being a part of this live session. Don't forget that we'll be live again later in the evening. I want to say a very big thank you. Please do me a favor to like this video so that YouTube can recommend it for others to watch. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell for more updates from me. Thank you so much for being here to the end of this program. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.